Manticores have abandoned their meals when Hardrick started his rampage. They're now back to circling the skies, trying to find the right time to strike. One of the braver Manticores dives down quickly in an attempt to surprise the dwarf, but when it sees him react, the monster quickly soars back up into the sky out of his reach. Oh, it has some instinct, alright. Damn it, Hardrick shouts. Hardrick says, "Come back here, you coward, come back here and fight." Hey dwarf, I hear Araka's voice coming from the crowd. Why don't you try singing them a lullaby? Maybe they will get sleepy and come back down. Following the sound of Araka's voice, I managed to identify Flower in the crowd of spectators. The people around her are all have their heads turned towards her and are watching her curiously. They must think that the amulet around her neck is some new type of transceiver. "Shut up, you blasted old hag," Hardrick shouts back at her. "When I get out of here, I swear I'm going to double your spinning sessions." "Yeah, I've got a better idea," Araka says. "How about you stop wasting everyone's time and get back to fighting? Do you have any idea how much this ticket costs?" "I can't fight them, you moron," Hardrick shouts, exasperated. "I'm not allowed to use ranged weapons in the arena." "Then throw some spears," Araka shouts. "We have to tell you everything. You got spears mounted on the walls, use them." Now that Araka mentions, I see that there are indeed spears and various other weapons mounted on the wall of the arena. They must have placed them there to give people who didn't have any weapons when they got captured an equal chance in the fighting or event. Hardrick mumbles something under his breath and then he goes to get one of the spears. He then tosses it at one of the manticores. What if it goes out of the arena and just drops on some random person eating a fucking ice cream outside? Maybe there's a shield or something that... I mean, the creatures are not leaving. I thought the creatures didn't leave because they were trained to not leave. But maybe there's like a dome shield protecting outside, like they don't leave at all. He then tosses at one of the manticores. The spear lodges itself into the chest, causing blood to spurt out, but the creature falls towards the ground. While the creature reaches the soil, Hardrick grabs two more spears and he throws them in quick succession towards two of the other manticores, killing them as well. Hearing check successful, level 3, the last remaining manticore decides that the skies are no longer safe, so it quickly dives down towards Hardrick to end the fight with one big final clash. Hardrick does not wait for the creature to reach him and he makes a jump, grabbing it from the air and does a spinning drop, causing the beast's head into the ground, crushing the beast's head into the ground. I mean, his teammate didn't even fight, he just did everything himself, honestly. He did it, the crazy bastard did it. I feel like that's a movie reference or something. He took both waves of monsters down all by himself and barely even got scratched. The crowd is now cheering louder than ever before. Hardrick's teammate, who had been hiding this whole time, came running towards the dwarf, raised him in the sky while chanting his name repeatedly. They keep saying while the crowds are all cheering, "Is this Hardrick, Hardrick, Hardrick?" Alright. "Don't think that you're getting off that easy, you cowardly dogs," Hardrick says with a grin, while his teammates are throwing him up and down. "If we get out of here, you're going to buy me a year's worth of drinks." "What is the meaning of this?" I hear the ambassador of Allender shout from above. "Ambassador," says Venard, the owner of the arena, I see that you decided to join us after all. Would you like some wine?" The two of them seem to be talking from a private room above our division area. It doesn't appear like any of my other teammates are able to hear them. "Why is the dwarf here?" the ambassador says. "He wasn't supposed to be here. He's going to ruin everything." "Calm down, ambassador," Venard says. "The dwarf came here with a letter of admission signed by the king himself. We can't just turn him down." "Just because you couldn't turn him down," the ambassador said, "doesn't mean that you have to let him make a mockery of your entire arena." "He hasn't done that at all, ambassador," he says. "Quite the contrary, in fact. He has provided us with a spectacle that this arena has not seen for ages, and the crowds love it. The show has only just started and it's already exceeded all my expectations." "I don't care about your expectations," the master says. "I want him out. Do you understand? I do not want him to set foot in the arena ever again." Venard says. "Truth be told, I also think that allowing the dwarf to wreak havoc any longer than he already has would make the show too predictable and boring." "Very well, ambassador. I will speak with the staff in charge of arranging the fights to make some modification in the schedule. You will not be seeing him again." After they finish the discussion, the room over falls silent again. Meanwhile, on the outside, the crowds have still not stopped cheering since the end of the previous fight. It takes about another minute for the cheering to finally die down and for Hardrick and the others to step off the stage so that the next division can enter the fighting arena. I feel like sometimes that, you know, I'm not one for like self-diagnosing. What is the word? Cringe, I find it. But you know, sometimes it just feels like, you know, one of those what are they called, issues, what are the dyslexic and stuff like that, you can't read properly. Sometimes I feel like that's the case, because I'm like hardcore focused on this. I'm not looking around, I'm not doing anything else, but for some reason I can't finish a fucking sentence in a straight fucking line. Which is funny. I once saw a video where they highlighted the first two letters and made them like capital letters in like a paragraph, and I fucking read through that in like an instant. It was so fast, and I did not fumble a fucking word. That was something. I mean, they have some tricks to solve the issues, but whatever. The gate to the 3rd division is now opening. The first one to come out of it's none other than Darren. His teammates also follow him after a short period of time, but they look a bit apprehensive. For your information, the announcer says the man with the scar who just entered the arena is known as Darren, the healer in armor. He's a well-known hero from outside of Warathia who has traveled the world, has saved countless lives throughout the years. You may have heard of him from previous newspapers in the past. Today he will be participating in our arena event as a special guest. Let us have a warm round of applause for the hero Darren. All the spectators begin clapping as Darren and his teammates get closer to the center of the arena, ready their weapons. Okay, listen up, Bruce tells us, while the gladiators are still waiting to begin their fight. After watching the two fights from before, I think we need to change our battle strategy. Have you gone daft? This disinherited noble thug says. However, we change our tactics a few minutes before the battle, because the way we are now, we're going to lose, Bruce says. We don't have any teamwork. We should try being more like those gladiators in the 1st division. You saw how well they work together. The gladiators from the 1st division are dead, the mate says. Damn it, you know what I mean, Bruce says. I'm talking about assigning roles to everyone. You also saw how they operated. One guy was the leader, another one was staying behind to warn them of danger, and some of them were decoys and others were the main fighters. If we did that, we'd be a lot more organized. I mean, I don't know what I chose last time. This is not a like special, choice. It's not like I need to specifically pick this, so I'm just gonna pick whatever. So let's see. I think that's a good idea. Sounds like a terrible idea. I mean, that does sound like a good idea, but I don't think we have time for that. Yeah, that's just not gonna work. That sounds like a terrible idea. It sounds like a terrible idea. I say that this type of strategy may have worked for those guys because they've already knew each other and have fought together before. The seven of us, on the other hand, refused to talk for 3 days straight until we were forced to do it by the owner. It's not going to work. We can't know until we try, Bruce says. And who exactly is going to be our leader? The disinherited thug asks Bruce. You don't make me laugh. I'd rather get eaten by the manticore than have to listen to any of your orders. Never said that I would be leader, Bruce says. We can vote on who gets to be leader. Forget it, the mate says. I don't care about who the leader is. I'm not leaving my survival in the hands of a person that I barely even know. It's not going to happen. But Bruce and the others are fighting. The 3rd division first round was getting ready to start. Release the tramplers, the announcer says. I don't know if I have read this. I feel like I've read this. I think I've read this. At this point, I came back and I do remember Darren's fight. Darren's fight is like some of his teammates are like running around and shit like that, and he is just like, I think there were bulls or something that were attacking him, and he would just like sidestep them and just like gut them or something like that. Let me check. Yeah, Darren teammates are looking terrified, and it only takes them a few seconds of watching the beast get closer and closer for them to completely forget Darren's warning and to start running for their lives. It's the same shit. And as soon as one of the tramplers come within reach of his blade, he steps to the side and he cuts off the beast's head in one single motion, causing the trampler's headless body to fall on the ground. Yeah, this is the same. Moving on. So yeah, basically Darren's fight went normally. I've already read it, so you can go back and read it for yourself, or you can watch one of my videos for when the fight actually happened. Regardless, for this fight, we're going to try something a little different. The announcer says the members of the 4th division, that's our division, will have to fight not 2, not 3, but 4 different types of strongest creatures. They will have to kill them all if they want to advance to the 2nd round. So this is Venard, the arena owner. He change shit based on the advice of what is his name? The Olinder ambassador, whatever. So basically the thug and the Bruce are fighting over who is going to be the leader. So I'm just going to choose, is this really the time and place to be having an argument instead of Bruce will be the leader or Bruce will not be the leader or whatever? Is it really the time and place to be having this argument? So what do you propose to do, smartass? Bow down to almighty and powerful Bruce and accept his every command? No, I say I'm proposing that you shut the hell up and pay more attention to the battlefield. The creatures are already moving to surround us. The cobras are now trying to get on our right side while the marauders are coming from our left. The 3 tramplers are now also making their way into the fighting area, and they are pawing the ground with their hooves, getting ready to charge. The manticores are still circling the skies, biding their time.